if it's bull or bear, I don't care. It's quite a rough ride, just like life. But I'm kind of patient, 'cause only time will tell.
I guess I should bring my mic down to my face, huh? How about that? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. I am the Crypto Crow. I'm going to go over some pretty cool stuff today, and I've got an exclusive video that I'm going to be recording right after this for Rumble. For those of you that don't know or you haven't watched the video, I mean, I've been struggling for years on and off with terminations and things going on with the algorithm here. And, you know, quite frankly, I was reached out to by some of the VPs, a VP over at rumble.com. And they laid everything out for me. They explained like what they're doing, what their plans are. I had no idea that these guys were as legit as they are. It's just a startup. And so I've begun building my channel on rumble.com, and I'm basically all of my like newsletter type content, all that, it's all going to locals from now on. So if you're interested in what I've got coming, which is quite a lot, you know, being able to break the chains of censorship, so to speak, and go to a platform that, while still relatively small, I believe has a lot of potential over the future. So basically my goal throughout this bear market ultimately is to share everything I can to kind of basically lay out what I think that the public would benefit from in terms of preparing for their future in the current state of affairs as this bear market unfolds. And then, you know, use the bear market to build up my Rumble channel in hopes that I might be able to someday replace YouTube altogether, quite frankly. There's nothing like being uninspired by the fact that I'm always afraid to say just about anything in fear of some algorithm, basically thinking I'm maybe saying one thing when I'm saying another, or confusing what's happening, or just all the weirdness going on where freedom of speech isn't necessarily a thing. And yeah, I'm kind of over it. So that being said, and I'm in the process right now of watching this, and so far it's one of the most mind-boggling, eye-opening things. I mean, it's something that the majority of us kind of knew or had a suspicion of. This really lays it out. It's actually available on rumble.com. So this is where it's premiering. So you can click the links in my description below. It'll take you to this platform. I don't care what side you're on. You need to watch it. I mean, plain and simple, you need to watch it. If you have any interest whatsoever in the truth and what's actually been going on, again, I really don't care what side you're on. If you choose ignorance, which I always say ignorance is a choice, then cool. Take the blue pill. But if you really want to know what's happening, I suggest you watch this, and not only watch it, but discuss it. Talk about it with friends and family. Get the, you know, the way everything is right now, it's absolutely been driving me nuts. You know, where only one opinion is valid, only one opinion is you can only speak about one narrative, and nothing else is allowed. I don't know where else I've seen that. Maybe I've seen that back in, I don't know, 1984. That was an interesting year. But anyway, I'm going to be talking about a lot of stuff on Rumble and really just kind of taking the chains off. I mean, I just can't do that here. So make sure you follow me if you're at all interested in what I have to say about a variety of topics as we move forward day to day. Now, 90% of central banks explore launching CBDCs. This is a huge, huge deal, folks. And I know that a lot of you that watch my channel, you guys know that this has been coming, and it's still coming. And when I see a lot of this stuff associated with regulation and you know, a lot of the executive orders and the bills and all of this stuff, I'm telling you, there's definitely something to be said about programmable government money that is 100% trackable through and through. It's coming. And I do believe that, again, this is going to be a Rumble conversation, but I do believe that the regulations that are going to be put in place are definitely going to get rid of a lot of the stable tokens out there today. And I think we're going to start seeing some of these start dropping like rocks. As news and word of mouth starts to spread as to what's coming, I think we're going to start seeing some of these stable tokens fold up. in preparation for the CBDCs. I mean, it's coming. Mix this with the big push for electric vehicles that are also trackable. People can turn them off like from anywhere. We're follow me on Rumble so I can speak my mind. Please help me help you. Cardano prepares to scale with Hydra upgrade as network reaches 2 million wallets. This is an older article, okay? This is back from November of 2021. Many more wallets now, but I just wanted to show this because we're getting into a period where Cardano and Hydra. See, Hydra to me is one of the big grand poobahs of Cardano functionality and scalability. And then when you mix that in with interoperability, I mean, this is all going to happen through this bear market. And I think the message is clear. You know, there are a lot of people who, if you were watching my channel back in 2017, when I did my first video coverage of Cardano and my first purchase of ADA, you know, we went from basically 2 cents. We went from like $1.33. That was the peak of that bull cycle. But when I first got into it, it was like 33 cents, and watched it drop all the way down to 2 cents in the bear market, and then rise all the way up to like $3.14. Yes, I thought that Cardano might reach $8 at the peak of the cycle, but I'm going to show you some things. The entire market was drastically different in this cycle. And while I believe the same is going to be true for the next bull market cycle, especially as we usher in CBDCs and so many of these regulations transpire, to be quite frank, I think when the regulations from Biden's administration hit, I think it's going to get rid of a lot of the shit coins out there. I really do. And I think it's the money that enters the space is going to have a much more limited, there's over like 20,000 different tokens out there. Okay. The vast majority of them are garbage, or they're utility tokens with very niche utility. And I'm not saying that there's anything necessarily wrong with that. I'm just saying that in the grand scheme of things, when you're talking about a new era of technology, as I like to say, a lot of these platforms, programs, dApps, applications, a lot of the stuff that's been fueling the crypto economy has been pure speculation, because a lot of these applications haven't been completed. They don't work fully. They have very niche markets, and a lot of them are based on APY yields and basically just fueled by greed. And there's a big difference between applications that are fueled by greed and fueled by their own ability to help facilitate things throughout the world that address real problems, that provide real solutions. Those are going to be the tokens and ultimately the use cases that are filled and that will grow in market cap over time. Those are what I consider to be strong investments, which is why you never really saw me dive big into DeFi applications that were getting rug pulled left and right. You didn't really see me even dive deep into NFTs, even though I love NFTs. I own many of them. It's never been something that I wanted to like trade. I didn't want to speculate on NFTs because of the overall use case for them kind of irked me a little bit. And so I've been a huge proponent of Cardano, and I've watched the Cardano price rise and fall, and the thing of it is that here we are in this new bear market cycle as Cardano continues to develop significant milestones that are ultimately going to change the world. And I believe that a lot of its competitors also know this, which is one of the reasons why, whether it's in the media, whether it's through bots on Twitter, social sentiment is always a little confusing, because you see what I believe to be one of the best crypto projects out there just regularly getting slammed by accounts on Twitter with 4 followers, and it's a bunch of gibberish letters followed by an underscore and a bunch of numbers. Those are bot accounts, and typically anytime I see something truly negative about Cardano, I always go and I look at the avatar and I see, it's another bot. You can just tell they have no followers, they have nothing really going on. It's just all negative Cardano. And that is a trick that I know that a lot of Cardano's competitors try to use to push its social validity down, I think, to an extent, and ultimately sway the opinion of newcomers into the space where they read that stuff and are like, oh, Cardano's bad. Oh, I don't want that. And it to some degree it works with those who just aren't in the know and they just don't understand what Cardano is, what it's doing. So anyway, Cardano finally gaining massive traction. As upcoming Hydra upgrade proves to be a game changer for ADA. This is March 23rd. Now, a lot of this stuff is it's a little old. But since its inception in 2017, ADA has been promising big things, but taking time to deliver them, which there's nothing wrong with that. And that's a thing that really bothers me when, a lot of people are, oh, Cardano's slow. It must be it's a ghost chain. It's vaporware. No, you've got, 100 people that are building all of the different protocols associated with Cardano in a very scientific approach. And they're not just slapping a bunch of shit together, calling it a blockchain, charging everybody out the wazoo through public sales, and constantly asking for more money while they're, always searching for, or it's, new bugs and problems are being discovered. You just don't see a lot of that with Cardano. Last year, with much anticipated Alonzo upgrade, they finally drove to introduce smart contracts to the network. That opened up all the NFTs. I think we finally had an NFT on the Cardano blockchain break 100,000 ADA, if I'm not mistaken. Despite a harsh couple of months, ADA is now going strong with a vigorous community and with good reason. According to a report by Santiment, which is actually a platform that measures social activity, one of the crypto projects with the most activity on GitHub is currently Cardano. I wonder why. This means that developers are working hard to improve the network's technology. One of the leading projects being Hydra, a layer 2 scaling solution. What's layer 2 and why do we need them? One of the most important problems in the crypto industry right now is scalability. As more people enter the space, demand for transactions rise, which makes gas prices skyrocket, as we've all learned time and time again with Ethereum. A blockchain network has a limit for how many transactions can fit inside each block. Therefore, there's a max number of transactions per second they can process. A layer 2 solution allows for transactions to be aggregated and synthesized off-chain and then posted together to the mainnet. In that way, the gas fees are divided between hundreds of transactions. This technique effectively multiplies the TPS that a blockchain can process. In essence, Hydra will make Cardano and its whole DeFi ecosystem faster and cheaper. Although it is still in development, progress is being made. As of last week, the Hydra protocol is successfully running on Cardano's mainnet. There's a whole lot going on. Now, how Cardano's Hydra scaling solution beats the Bitcoin Lightning Network. Now, we're getting a little more modern. April 21st. Hydra promises more scalability and interoperability, and according to Charles Hoskinson, it will also offer a better layer 2 experience than the Lightning Network. Check out the Hydra website. Go and check that out if you like. Dubbed by Input Output as the ultimate layer 2 scalability solution, Hydra will improve the underlying performance of the chain to support growth and adoption via increased capacity. What's more, the launch of Hydra will add a new dimension to Cardano, similar to the Lightning Network for Bitcoin, except better. And we go more into what is Hydra. Now, Cardano, Hydra versus Bitcoin Lightning Network. Speaking to Lex Friedman last year, Hoskinson described Hydra as a co-designed layer 2 solution for scaling. Co-designed in the sense that special provisions are in place to accommodate Hydra, unlike the Lightning Network, which was not co-designed with Bitcoin. The benefits of co-design are it's effortless to move in and out of the system while still maintaining security properties. Add to that the sophistication that comes with separate heads, along with a more expressive accounting model, and the result is that it's possible to do more, including building safeguards against lost funds. So here's the thing. One of the big things that has been the metric for a lot of blockchain technology over the past few years has been the idea that everybody wants to compete with Visa. Now, if you look back into my Cardano playlist on YouTube, videos also now on Rumble, you'll see that I did a calculation on what the numbers looked like for the scalability and transactions per second would be with Hydra, and it was astronomical. It made Visa's transactions look like nothing. I mean, it looked like nothing, because every node in the Cardano ecosystem will be able to process a lot of these layer 2 transactions, and basically put them on the blockchain. Now, this is going to change the way everything works to a vast degree. When you're talking about launching applications on a global scale, that scale with full interoperability with like ERC20 and other blockchains, there's nothing out there that is going to do what Cardano does. It's just all there is to it. And this is kind of a whole thing. I was going to read this, but I've already kind of covered it for the most part, so I'm not going to bother. But Cardano's first algorithmic stablecoin goes live on public testnet. Ethereum competitor Cardano has teamed up with blockchain payments ecosystem Cody to launch a new algorithmic stablecoin. In a new blog post, Cody says that DJED, the first ever algorithmic stablecoin built on the smart contract platform, has gone live on its public testnet. DJED is a decentralized algorithmic stablecoin that is built on Cardano. An algorithmic stablecoin maintains stability through a combination of collateral and a reserve token. In this case, Shen is DJED's reserve coin and has the role of ensuring price stability. Specifically, it guarantees the collateralization rate and the peg of the stablecoin. According to Cody, the testnet will serve as a way to ensure that DJED and Shen are both technically sound, stable, secure, and redeemable after protocol upgrades. Cody says that the DJED mainnet is slated to launch sometime in June of this year. Now, let's look at some other stuff. Currently, right now, this is Bitcoin's price. We're sitting around 32,000. Now, back in April, I was basically, and I have to address this because it's the only way to let people know that I do watch this. I am not known for my technical analysis. That's just not generally what I do on YouTube. I'll show Bitcoin's price and I'll talk about little bits here and there, but I'm not necessarily a short-term predictive analyst, because I look at the bigger picture. I'm not necessarily trying to scalp trades or make profitable trades on the hour or day trade. That's just not what I do. Honestly, I don't have the patience or the time for that. But on a grand scale, on a long-term scale, I'm generally dead ass accurate. Okay. Now, a lot is different about this market than in previous markets, at least the bull market. And with that being said, when I'm looking at Bitcoin's price, you can see we peaked up here around, well, this shows a wick up to about 68,000. We see the two peak market, both of which that I called on Twitter on the same day back in April. I forget what it was. Was it March, April? I think it was right around here. Yeah, April 13th. That's the 12th, but I think it was about April 13th. I posted the first tweet, the peak is in. And then in the next tweet down, I said, this is going to be one of two, right? We got those. What we didn't get were the significant blow off tops that we were expecting, where, the price goes from like this peak all the way up to over $100,000, which is what many of us, including myself, were hoping for and looking for. We were looking for $100,000 Bitcoin in this market. It didn't happen. It's going to happen in 2025, 26. And that might be where we hit our $250,000 mark in Bitcoin. And there are a lot of reasons for that. Now, but short term, where are we at? Well, I went and I did a previous video where I calculated this fall and how I basically believe that this is the top of our trading channel until 2024, until the next halving. And this is what I believe. Now, the reason why this matters is even back here, we can move that. Yeah, we're still on the weekly. So, if the price goes from, where it was around 47,000, I think, when I did the last video, and I said, look, it's going down. It's going down more. Everybody's like, oh, we're going up. And we'll have a bullish day. And of course, a lot of YouTubers are out there trying to be moon boys, trying to get those clicks and views, which it works because they're all bigger than me. But it's all moon boy bullshit. And I love crypto. Don't get me wrong. I'm still here for a reason. Okay. But a lot of people seem to think that because I sold the majority of my crypto assets at a certain price point, that I'm somehow abandoning them or abandoning the crypto space. No, it's just, I've been through 2 markets. I know what to expect now. And that being said, I'm watching what's happening and what I expect to play out. And I've been sharing it. Some people just choose not to listen. That's okay. Do what you feel is best. I held my crypto through the entire last bear market. Okay. So I get it. However, we're going to go further. And I basically expect to see this is the trading channel. And I think we're going to bottom out somewhere around $28,000. And I think that's going to be the bottom. This is the 200 weekly moving average. And I don't think we're going to bottom out until we've at least touched or wicked on this 200 weekly moving average, which I see us meeting somewhere around here. I'm expecting a bit of a pump from where we are right now. If I were going to make some kind of trade, I would probably put in a little 5 or 10x leverage long from here, because I'm expecting to see some sort of pump. And then we're going to come back down further here. And then from there, we're just going to alligator all through this for the next couple years. That's what I think is going to happen. But I think that the trading channel is going to be around $49,000 to $28,000, somewhere in there. And we're going to just trade that. We might wick below it, but ultimately this is what I see moving forward into the future. With Ethereum, we're getting the same price action. The crypto market is in a bear market. Cardano's price is much lower, and it's going to drop even lower. It's going to drop lower. All of this is going to drop lower. But if you're trading against Ethereum, the question is, will Ethereum drop even lower than Cardano? Or will Ethereum drop even lower than whatever other altcoin you're holding that you expect to be competing with the price of Ethereum? I believe Cardano is going to do very, very well as we move forward from here. Why? Because of all of these things associated with Cardano that are being presented, developed, launched. Some of this stuff is already on testnet, waiting to hit mainnet. And by the time we end up around here, the next halving, Cardano is going to be primed for major mass adoption. That is what I believe wholeheartedly. And in the midst of all of this, Cardano is still growing. Cardano is still growing by all of those who've been paying attention throughout this last bull cycle and are now able to start averaging in at much lower prices than before, with the same expectation that, hey, I'm going to invest in this now. Ultimately, you want to try and maintain your position for at least a year. That offsets a lot of your capital gains tax at the end when you've actually finally cashed out. So you think about it. Let's just say, let's say you get it. Let's say we bottom out somewhere here around, I don't know, October of 2022. Okay. And maybe we hit that bottom somewhere around in October. All right. Or maybe November even. November is my birthday. I'm going to be older than dirt in November. But let's just say we wait until November, right? Well, now you've got, you're into Cardano likely at its new bottom or post bottom. And you're going to have well over a year and a half or so to hold that position while it's accumulating more as you're delegating to Crow node, okay? Or whatever node you want. And that is going to be butter right there. That is going to be what ultimately helps change the lives of the many who are paying attention now, while others have, it's another bull market. There's nothing for me to do here. I'll wait until it goes back up. I'll wait until the media starts talking about it once again. I'll wait until whatever. It's the people that are waiting around to be spoon-fed profits that ultimately sell at the top buy at the top and they get panicked and frustrated and they sell at bottoms. Okay. It's the people that are preparing throughout these bear market cycles, understanding where the technology is. Listen, a lot of these other projects that are out there that have been trying to compete with Cardano, they're all done. They're all done and they're lackluster. They're all done and they're getting hacked left and right. They're all done and they're having to shut down their blockchain for this reason or that reason and do reboots and shit all the time. These are projects that are supposedly completed and ultimately expected to compete with what I believe is going to be the greatest blockchain known to man. Yeah, all right. You can keep betting on that if you want, and you can keep going out there to Twitter, reading all the Twitter bot bullshit that's going to steer you in the wrong direction, and you can kind of go along with all of the Ethereum hodling media out there who've been in the crypto space longer than you and accept payments in Ethereum and things like that, and they're always going to be telling you, look what Ethereum's doing, maybe 6 months, maybe 6 years down the road. Oh, missed another milestone. Oh, missed another. Okay, whatever. Cardano does take a little while to build and develop itself, but that's because they're making sure that they're not having to backtrack later like all of these other shitcoin projects trying to push themselves to market to capitalize on the market cycles basically at your expense while they're trying to patch holes and fix a whole bunch of bullshit that shouldn't even be there for something so extensive, technical, and ultimately expensive in the grand scheme of things. So where do I think that Bitcoin and Cardano's going right now? I think it's going down more. All there is to it. And that's okay, because it's an opportunity for those of you who are new and watching this or discovering this content now to be able to start preparing and laying out your game plan. How much do you think you can afford to average in over the next 2 years? Even if you were to start averaging in now, where the price of Cardano is, I think, like 67 cents or something, I'd have to check. I had a chart open, but I don't know what happened to it. But we're in the 60 centile range now. When I did my last video, we were in the 90 centile range. We've dropped probably 25 cents since then when I said it was going down further. And it's going to continue to go down further. And that's just all there is to it. We're going to get some little pumps here and there. I'm expecting one in the short term anytime now. Not going to last. And when a lot of these YouTubers are out there saying, oh, we're going to the moon, this could be it, we may have hit bottom. Bullshit. No, we haven't hit bottom. We haven't hit bottom until Bitcoin hits this fucking 200 weekly moving average, and that's all she wrote. And we might even really wick below that on a weekly. So we might have a period on a weekly chart where we wick far below that 200 weekly moving average, but we're probably not going to close beneath it. And that's when I'm going to start averaging back in. That is when I'm legitimately planning on buying back in. And I keep getting people asking me all the time, Crow, what are you doing? Crow, what are you doing? When are you buying back in? Did you buy back in yet? Watch my damn videos. Why? I explain all this in every video. I explain my position, where my head is in just about every video. So when people ask me, I just tell them, watch my video. Help my algorithm a little bit. How about that? I'm putting in the work. All you got to do is watch. What is this video? 28 minutes? This will be a 30-minute video. And I'm going to teach you everything you need to know, probably, that this could change your life over the next 2 years. How many views is this video going to get? 7,000 maybe, if I'm lucky? Because the market is out. They're out to lunch, and that's okay. But those 7,000 of you guys that watch this, guarantee you're going to be doing significantly better than you are right now by 2025 and 2026. Hopefully, you pay it forward. Until then, I will see you guys soon. Make sure you follow me on Rumble, because I really want to start getting real, but I want to wait for those numbers to go up a bit before I start putting real good exclusive content, because it does take a while, and I don't want to waste really good content until my numbers are higher. Make sure you follow. I will be writing a lot of really cool stuff on my locals account, though, so even if you follow as a free member, greatly appreciated. But until next time, guys, crow your coins. I'll see you again real soon.